Hey all you super players out there. Today we're going to go over the deck I played at Nats, which was Universe 6 Hit. Uh, when I was coming to the decision of playing this deck, I wanted a deck that could have a really huge advantage over one of the two top decks, which are the Shenron Purunga variants or the Yellow Broly variants. And so Hit has a massive advantage over any of the Dragon Ball leaders because of its ability to unawaken your opponent. And his matchup against the Yellow Broly leader is fine too. It's usually about 50-50. But I'm just going to go ahead and go over what exactly this leader does since not a lot of people use him. So front side, once per turn, you can choose a card in your life, add it to your hand, choose one blue or yellow Universe 6, energy cost 1 in your hand, and play it. And then when he's at 4 or less life, you can draw one, untap one, and awaken. And on his awakened side, he has 3 effects. When he attacks, draw a card. When your opponent's leader flicks back to its front, choose one blue or yellow Universe 6 in your drop, energy cost 3 or less, and play it. And once per turn, you can choose one card in your hand, place in the drop area, choose one blue or yellow Universe 6 card in your hand with energy cost of 2, and play it. So the big differences between this and the Vegeta Kaba leader is that you get a huge burst turn rather than like consistent overall. Uh, the Unawaken, lowering your opponent's power, plus the extra Revival from the Grave, plus the discard to put an extra guy in play, allows you to play 3 or 4 guys on one turn, and then attack with all of them while your opponent is flipped over. He's also a bit slower than the Hit Vegeta since he's not taking his life. You can't take multiple life per turn like you can with the other ones, but that's kind of compensated by the fact that in the meta right now, the slow deck is the Dragon Ball deck, which you have a huge advantage over. So mostly it's just a normal Universe 6 deck with the hit pieces added in. Um, so Kawa, Bonds of Universe 6, when you play it, if there's a Universe 6 in your drop area, you can choose one card in your hand, place in the drop, then put one blue or yellow non-Kawa Universe 6 card, energy cost of 1 for your drop area and play. So the reason we play these in the time skip hit deck is because we can put them in play for free when we use our hits front or back effect. This is why we played in this deck and not so much in the Vegeta deck. 3K Ultimate Sister, she just grabs one from the discard pile. 3 Khalifa the Bold Sister, she looks at the top 5 cards and adds one to your hand. 3 Planet Vegeta, this is another big difference between the Kaba Vegeta deck and the Hit deck. So on turn 1, we really need Khalifa to get going. We need to be able to take that life and put Khalifa in play. So much so that we can actually play a Planet Vegeta on turn 1, and then that searches Khalifa, which we can then put in play to kind of get our deck going. So these basically serve as our Khalifa copies 5 through 7. 2 Desperate Measures. Counterplay. If the battle card your opponent's plays energy cost 2 or less, return it to the hand instead of being played. Then choose one of your blue battle cards, energy cost 3 or less, and add to its hand. So this is there to stop all the counterplays. Some of the counterplays can hurt us really bad when we're trying to go off on a turn. So we play this in order to prevent ourselves from falling into that trap. For our super combo, I used Magetta, Defender of Universe 6. You want to use a Universe 6 combo so you can search it. And this one allows you to use it at 5 or less life as opposed to 4. 3 Sisterly Bonds Kale. She just helps us make more explosive turns. The 2 drops are especially interesting in the hit deck because on the Awaken side, you can discard a card to put them in play and just swarm your opponent. Kaba Saiyan of Universe 6, same thing. We can put it in play with hit and it comes in play off Kale. 3 hit After Image Master. When you play this card from your hand, your opponent chooses one card from their hand and sends it to the warp. Active main, send this card to its owner's warp. At the start of your next main phase, if your leader card is a yellow Universe 6 card, play this card that was sent to the warp by into its owner's battle area. So basically what he does is he's an evolved target for our 5-drop hit that we can put in play at 1 turn, warp, and then he's protected and he comes back at the beginning of our next turn, which we can then evolve. We can also put him in play for 2, or I'm sorry, put him in play by discarding a card with hit and then evolve right away for 3. 3 Khalifa Troublemaker of Universe 6. So one of the reasons I wanted to play this deck is because it can manipulate your opponent's energy on both your turn and their turn, which is very powerful effect, and can throw your opponent off very easily. And the reason we're running so many of this card is because we can put it in play with our time skip hit effect for free and tap our opponent's energy. there was a lot of times where I wanted to make a big play like evolve my hit, but I knew my opponent had a counterplay up. So you could just discard a card, put Khalifa in play, take a life, and tap one of their energy so that they can't counter you. Two Chop of the Trickster. I really wish I had played more of this card. This is one of the mistakes I think I made. It ended up being way more useful than I expected. I expected it to be mostly Purunga decks that I faced, but it actually ended up being mostly Shenron, and this card is way better against Shenron. 4 Chop of Vados Gracious Aid. For those of you who don't know, a rival for 1 yellow. And it allows you to use you combo your Universe 6 cards without paying their costs. So this is what allows you to swarm with your Khalifas and Kaels. Usually this is your turn 2 or turn 3 play. 4 Khalifa Peak of Perfection. When you combo with this card, you can on your opponent's turn, you can tap one of their energy. And this goes again with the whole theme of being able to manipulate your opponent's energy. Was one of the big reasons that I played this deck. Khalifa the Awakened Sister. Khalifa and Kael the Awakened Sisters both come into play on evolve over the top of a Khalifa or a Kael respectively when you combo with them. Khalifa can tap down a battle card or an energy, which once again is involved in that energy manipulation theme that I went for, and has double strike, while Kael can negate and bounce a tapped card. So you can use the Kael and Khalifa together to pretty much bounce, to bounce any card in the game. Hit Pride of Universe 6. So this is the real bomb in the deck. This is kind of the turn you're going to try and kill him. You evolve into this. It says EX evolve for 2 yellow and 1 anything. A yellow hit with energy cost of 2, which is our hit after Image Master. Dual attack, auto bond 2 Universe 6. When this card evolves in this card, if your leader card is a yellow Universe 6 card and you have 4 more energy, flip your opponent's leader card to the front. If you do, your opponent can't activate their leader card's Awaken or Wish skill till the end of their next turn. Active main auto once per turn. Choose one of your opponent's battle cards, negate its skills for the duration of the turn, send it to its owner's warp. At the end of your opponent's next turn, play the card sent to the warp by this skill in rest mode. So this card is really, really good, especially against the Shenron decks, because you flip them back over, they can't awaken on their turn, which means they can't combo off, so it basically gives you 2 free turns to just hit them. And that's usually enough to kill them. I didn't have any problem with any of the Shenron or Purunga decks I faced all tournament. But yeah, so usually your bomb turn is going to look like, alright, I'm on 4 energy, hit comes back into play because I played it earlier. If they have energy up for a counter, use your effect, put in Khalifa Troublemaker to tap their 1 energy, and then play your hit, unawaken them. Then you usually use Hits effect, your leader Hits effect, to bring something back from the discard pile. It's usually either Kael or the Khalifa again to tap another energy, or it's the Kael to get your combo pieces for your Khalifa or Kael Awaken. So you just get this massive explosive turn that's really hard to stop. I also play the Secret Rare. For obvious reasons. It's good Secret Rare, draws 4 cards, taps 4 things. I think I only used it twice, but it did win me a game when I did use it. So yeah, now I'm going to show you the... Oops, sorry. This is my side deck, and this was my big mistake for the tournament. I think my main deck was incredibly strong and I had no problems with it, but my side deck was really weak. 2 Westsky Keeping Watch. When you combo with this card, choose up to one of your opponent's cards in the combo, return to its owner's hand. I think siding this was a mistake. It's supposed to be used in the mirror, so you can bounce their Khalifas back to their hand, or you can use it against apes to bounce their apes back to their hand. But with how aggressive my deck usually plays against apes, I wasn't actually using it that much, so I definitely wouldn't have sided this. Senzu Bean was supposed to be in there, just kind of a mirror, and yeah, it wasn't that useful. I didn't really side it in. King Yangma Soul Supervisor. When you play this card, you may choose 2 non-black battle cards in your opponent's drop area, place them at the bottom of your opponent's deck, in any order if you do draw 1 card. So this was supposed to be for counteracting the Shenron Purunga decks. I did side it in, and I did use it once, but the deck's already so strong against Shenron and Purunga that I think it was kind of a wasted side deck slot. I think I needed more stuff for the Broly matchup. For Flying Nimbus, this was very useful. And I'm glad I sided them in. I used them against Broly. Any deck that's playing Universe 6 cards was incredibly good. So yeah, this was definitely a good call. Mutaito Skill of the Sage. This was okay. I sided it in against the Shenron variant of the Shenron Purunga deck, which was pretty useful for. But you have to watch out because people are playing unexpected results that can counter both this and your uh, counterplay Champa. So it is a very good card. I definitely am glad that I played it. One thing that you'll notice that I didn't play that was a big mistake was the yellow negate, the one that stops your opponent or stops things from untapping. I lost every single game that I lost except for one. I lost because of Mira. Mira Champa. I lost to Mira double Champa, Mira Champa, whole bunch of Mira Champa losses, which would have been solved by that negate. So yeah, I very much regret. Also, I should have sided these Muataitos in against the yellow or the yellow Broly leader just to stop that card. That is literally the thing I lost to. 3 out of my 4 losses were to yellow Broly, and it was every single time it was to that card. So yeah, so this main deck incredibly strong, very good, especially in the meta. We'll have to see going forward. I don't think it's going to be strong once the next set comes out because sadly it does not stop the Burst Awakens, I think it's called. Whatever the new awakening mechanic is. It specifically stops Wish and Awaken. So we'll have to see. So yeah, I ended up going 4-4, which was a little disappointing. Ironically, I started off 4-1, and then I lost the last 3, which were all very close. And like I said, all Universe 6, or not all Universe 6, all Yellow Broly, and all because of Mira. So if I had sided differently and had better matchup and more counters to that Mira card, I honestly think I would have done extremely well at the tournament. Um, but yeah, either way, it was cool leader, a lot of fun. I'm glad I played this deck. I definitely think it had potential to top if I had sided a little differently. But yeah, oh, I'm giving away a playmat. Comment in this video or subscribe to the channel if you want a free Nats playmat. I'm going to call out the winner on next week, Tuesday or Monday when I give out my first video for next week. So you got till there to subscribe or comment on the video. Go out there, everybody, play some Super, and have some fun.